Welcome to the Produce the Best Year Ever workshop. I'm Tapia, and I'm very happy to be your host today and to help you plan this awesome 12-month life experience. In this workshop, you're going to learn how to create an amazing year. It doesn't matter if today is October, February, September, you are going to get to plan the next 12 months ahead. So let's get it started. We'll start knowing what your values are, as well as your mission and vision in life. Then, of course, we are going to learn how to set goals correctly and create an action plan. All this to make the following 12 months work in your favor. So let's start with your values. Values are an essential part of us. They represent who we really are and guide us as a personal compass or code that is almost impossible to break. However, most of us don't even know what our values are. We are focused more on what society says or culture or the people around us value, instead of valuing the things that are really important to us. So, for example, if I ask you right now to tell me, I don't know, your top 5 to 10 values, those things that really are the most important to you or the things that represent you, can you tell me those? Well, if you can't, don't worry, we're going to figure them out and you're going to discover why this is so important. Knowing your values will help you know better what you want in your life. For example, the kind of friendships that you want to have, the kind of people that you want to be surrounded by, the kind of company that you really want to work with, or the partnerships that you want to create or build. Everything is guided by your values. Even if sometimes you're super unconscious about them, they are guiding you in every kind of decision that you're making. For example, let's say that someone is inviting you to work in a company, but you value your family a lot. That's one of your unbreakable values in your life. And this company is inviting you to work with them, but you will have to travel a lot. And also you are going to have to spend more than 70 hours per week with them. So is this going to bring a conflict to you? Is this going to make you feel unhappy or stressed about? See, this is the kind of things that knowing your values is going to help you more to know if you take this kind of job or actually not. So other kind of decisions that you might have to take might be, I don't know, what kind of job should I pursue, or should I really move to another country, or should I stay in this country that I moved to, or should I go back to my homeland? Should I start this relationship? Should I quit my job and start a business? The most that you know your values, the easier it's going to be for you to take decisions and to actually take action and move forward. So the thing is, how will you identify them? So I'm going to ask you for this moment to close your eyes and to go back in your memories and think about the thing that made you the happiest person on earth. What was happening in that moment? Who was there? Why were you so happy? Were you sharing this experience with other people? What did you do to be so happy? What was around you? What was your environment? Bring all those memories to you and feel them as if you were exactly in that moment, and feel that happiness. Now that you brought that memory, go back again and then bring that one of where you were the proudest person on earth. What were you doing in that moment? What made you so proud? Who were you with? Who was with you? What was the surrounding? Who who helped you feel so proud. Everything, feel all that, experience it in this moment. So now that you have those memories in mind, go to your workbook and see that you have a full list of keywords. Those are value keywords. And start highlighting those that fit with you and those things that you were feeling in that moment when you were thinking about your happiest moments and your proudest moments. So there is no limit. Highlight all those that you find that match and are great for you and define you and resonate with you. Highlight all of those, and if you don't find a word, just write it down and put it there and highlight it again. So now you've finished. In your workbook, you're going to find a page full of circles in it. In those circles, you're going to group the keywords that are more or less similar one to another. For example, abundance can be grouped with growth, wealth, security, independence, etc. You're going to end up with maybe 4 or 5 circles full of words, depending on how many words you chose. Now that you selected and you completed your circles, choose just one word for each circle. Choose just one, highlight it with another color. Take your time to decide and feel each word. Feel which one resonates the best with you and highlight it. Just one per group. So now that you have those highlighted, let me introduce you to your actual values. Those words that you highlighted are the words that influence you in every single decision you take in your life. So here are mine. Abundance, making a difference, encouragement, self-development, and inspiration. So now, how do you know what your mission is then? We already went through a full list of keywords and then we selected with a highlighter those which were the most important ones, but actually after that we filtered them and we chose one from each group. So now the only thing that we need to do is, from these values that we have in our lives, how we create our mission statement. So again, take your words, take your values, and see them. They're just listed in front of you. Mine are abundance, making a difference, encouragement, self-development, and inspiration. It's just a matter of playing with these words, actually. You're gonna play with them until you get a very beautiful phrase, and it's not about being poetic. It's about what is going to resonate with you and what you really want to have in your life. And that phrase is going to guide you every time that you need to check in to see what is your mission in this life. So, for example, I played with my words and I brought this phrase. My mission statement is to develop myself in all areas of my life, to be able to make a difference by encouraging, inspiring my community to grow. So take your time, check your words. You might have from 5 to 6 or 4 or 5, depending on the groups that you created and those which you selected. And then check with yourself and check what sounds correct for you, and not only for here, but for here, and then write it down. Now we're entering to my favorite part of this workshop. Do you know what your vision is? We are all going to travel in time. I know that we are talking about creating an amazing year or a 12-month life experience, but let's go further than that. I actually want to ask you, how do you see yourself in 10 years from now? So I'm going to ask you again to close your eyes and allow yourself to dream big. Remember, you only have one life, so let's make it amazing. Imagine what will you be doing? Who is going to be there? How much money will you be making? How is your life going to look like in 10 years from now? Did you travel a lot? Did you purchase a house or another property maybe? Get as clear as you can about what you want. Take your time, no rush here. And once that you're clear, just go to your workbook and write that down. So now that you are clear on how you see yourself in 10 years, let's get a shorter jump and go and see how will it be in 3 years. So close your eyes again and imagine yourself in 3 years from now and how your life is going to be. Maybe you got married, maybe you got divorced, maybe you had a baby, maybe you changed jobs, maybe you got a promotion. What happened in your life? What is happening then? Get as clear as possible. Take your time. No rush here. Just bring those thoughts and make it feel like it's happening just right now. What are you doing in 3 years? Once you're done visualizing, go back to your workbook and write that down. And now that you know how your life is going to look like in 10 years and then in 3 years, let's finally go to how do you see yourself in 12 months from now? What does that look like? What have you achieved? Who's there with you? Where are you at? Take your time, be ambitious, but realistic. So now that the image of what will be happening a year from now is in your head, it looks amazing, right? Okay, so keep that image very clear in your head and write all what you visualize down onto your notebook or workbook. And then, for example, if you forgot about something on your 10 years experience or your 3 years experience, just go back and write it down. It doesn't matter. The only thing that I want you to do is to be clear on the things that you want to get and achieve in your life and not more. And that's it. So now, assuming that you've done all this work, let's jump straight ahead to knowing how to set your goals to produce an amazing year. First of all, you have to know that for us to be successful, we always need to follow a system. For me, the one that works very well is the SMART system, which is also used by project managers. So SMART system means that the goal needs to be specific, meaningful, attainable, realistic, and time-based. Let me give you an example. Let's say I want to save money. So specific would be, okay, I want to save money, but how much? I want to save, let's say, $2,000. Okay, so what makes it specific is the amount, the $2,000. Then meaningful would be, I want to save $2,000 because I really want to go back to my country and visit my family and friends at the end of the year. That's meaningful to me because I really want to go there, right? So that's why I'm setting this goal. Attainable would be, can I really save this amount of money? That means that I would have to save $167 per month. Is this something that I can do? And then realistic would be, will I actually be able to put $167 per month aside? Do I really need to cut some expenses? For example, going to the dentist, which is also a priority. So is it realistic to me to save this amount of money instead of, I don't know, keep it simple and go and do other things that are priority? And then time-based would be, okay, so are 12 months enough time for me to be able to save all this money? Or am I going to feel under a lot of pressure? And then my conclusion after all these questions might be, maybe the best thing is to save $1,000 instead of $2,000. So now that you know how to set a SMART goal, let's start working and jump into your workbook and set the things that you have to do to arrive to those to what you had on those 12 months that you visualized a couple of minutes ago. So you want to be smart, right? I'm going to ask you to only set 2 goals per each category. Only 2. And it doesn't have to be all the categories listed there because maybe you will become crazy, but just choose those categories that are very, very important to you. And after that, just set 2 goals. Maybe you want to do everything just now because you're very enthusiastic and now you know how to do it, but just 2 per each category will be okay. And the categories can be career, financial, education, family, etc. But if you don't have any category listed there, just write it down and make it yours. After that, well, you have your main goals in place for the year, and now you are sure that they are smart. Then the next step would be to break everything down into smaller steps. So you know what you need to do and what you need to do. Plan your months, your weeks, and your days ahead, and base them always on your priorities. And remember always that every goal has to be meaningful. So ask yourself every time, why is this so important to me? But also ask yourself these other questions for each goal that you commit to. What do you need to change? Sorry, it's because I'm looking at the screen right now. What do you need to change? Maybe there are some habits that you need to change in order to achieve this goal. What are the resources that you have? The resources might be, I don't know, do I have the tools that I need to achieve this goal? If I want to write a book, do I have a laptop? Do I have a notebook? Do I have a pen? What are my resources? And then what do you need to learn? Maybe, for example, I want to create a website, but do I need to learn how to do it? And then who can help? Maybe I want to build this website, but I don't know how to do it and I don't have any time to learn. Is there anyone that could help me? Because don't forget about your resource, your people, your network are resources. So never forget this question. Who can help? And then how can you keep yourself accountable, which is very important for you to remember, because sometimes at the beginning we are very enthusiastic and we are doing everything, but after a while maybe our energy is lower. So how can we keep ourselves accountable? How can we assure that we are going to work as much as we need to achieve this goal? And then by when am I going to achieve it? The date is very important, as you already know, because without a date, you won't really do much. There will always be another time. There are going to be excuses, or maybe you're going to say, I can move this to another date, or maybe this is too soon to be done. Or at the end, you are going to feel very rushed and do it, but without having the things that you really wanted to get out of the goal that you set. So establish a date. It's very, very important for you. But, and this is very important, and I want you to keep it in your mind every time. No matter how well you follow the process or how well you follow the SMART goal system, you need to be both. Be confident, be determined, and be brave. Know that you've got this and much more. You know that you're a winner, and you have to remember this every time that you set goals in your life. Remember that you can do everything what you desire to do. So let us know how it went, and let me know if you have any trouble setting your goals correctly, or if you need some time to get clarification, or if you need advice. I'm always available, and it will be my biggest pleasure to help you. Until the next one.